Is there really a hidden relationship? ARMY unloads Lisa and Jungkook's moments. The K-pop world is again intrigued by a question that has actually been repeated for a long time in the middle of the fandom. Is every moment between two big stars just a coincidence? Or is there something bigger behind it? This time, the public's attention returned to Jungkook from BTS and Lisa from Blackpink. The two names that have extraordinary popularity on the global stage have become a topic of conversation again after a number of fans highlighted various moments, interactions, and their appearances that are considered to have certain similarities. On social media, the discussion about Jungkook and Lisa is not something completely new. However, every time a photo, video, appearance, or snippet of an old moment reappears, the conversation between fans seems to get new energy. Some ARMY choose to see it as just a coincidence or a form of ordinary interaction between two big artists in the same industry. But some others are wondering why Jungkook and Lisa's names are so easily brought together by the public. This is what makes the issue even more interesting. Not because there has been strong evidence about the personal relationship between the two, but because of the way the internet builds a story from small pieces that later develop into big speculation. Jungkook and Lisa both have an amazing career journey. Both grew up from the K-pop industry, faced great pressure from a young age, then developed into a global figure with a huge fan base. Because they are in the same industry circle, it is not surprising if both are occasionally in the same event, award, or public talk environment. However, for some fans, the simultaneous appearance or certain similarities can be a much longer analysis material. Social media then plays a big role in increasing that curiosity. A video with a duration of a few seconds can be cut, enlarged, given dramatic music, then re-uploaded with a narrative that makes the audience wonder. In a matter of hours, the piece can get thousands or even millions of views. Comments started popping up. Some say that the two seem to have the same energy. Some think they just happen to be in the same situation, while others begin to connect various old moments that actually happened in different contexts. This phenomenon shows how modern fandom culture works. Fans not only enjoy the music or performance of an artist, but also follow the small details of their career journey. The way someone looks in a certain direction, who is nearby, the clothes worn, to a short moment at an event can be the subject of a long discussion. And when two superstars like Jungkook and Lisa are in the center of attention, the curiosity certainly becomes bigger. However, the most important question remains the same. Is there really a hidden relationship between them? Until now, fan speculation cannot be considered as evidence of a romantic relationship. There is no sufficient basis to conclude a person's personal life just based on video clips, photos, or interpretations of social media users. This is the part that is often missing when a rumor goes viral. An assumption can sound like a fact after being repeated thousands of times, even though the original source may be just an observation from an internet user. This situation also shows how difficult it is to be a superstar in the digital era. Every movement can be recorded. Every appearance can be analyzed. Even a possible moment for the artist has no special meaning at all can turn into a global topic just because the public gives a certain interpretation. Jungkook has experienced this many times throughout his career. As one of the members of BTS with huge international popularity, almost every activity of theirs gets wide attention. The same thing happened to Lisa. As one of the Blackpink members who has a great influence in the world of music and fashion, his life also continues to be in the spotlight. When two figures like this later appear in the same conversation, the social media algorithm seems to find the perfect material. A title full of questions makes it easier for people to stop scrolling. Photos of two artists can make the audience curious. Old video clips can go viral again. Then the next question arises. Did we miss something? That simple question can turn an ordinary moment into an internet mystery. Interestingly, some fans actually ask the public to be careful. They remind that supporting idols does not mean having to know or determine their personal lives. Jungkook and Lisa have the right to live life off camera without each interaction they have to be labeled. On the other hand, the curiosity of fans cannot be simply eliminated. K-pop does have a very strong fandom culture, and the emotional relationship between artists and their fans makes every small development feel important. When something appears that is considered unusual, fans certainly want to find out. However, finding out is different from summarizing. This is the limit that becomes more important when a rumor starts to spread. The public can talk about a theory, but a theory remains a theory until there is reliable information. Without confirmation from the concerned party or a credible source, claims regarding personal relationships should be treated as speculation. Apart from the rumors, one thing that cannot be denied is the great attraction of Jungkook and Lisa as a global figure. Both of them have built their respective identities through hard work, music, performances, and international projects. They don't need a relationship rumor to prove that they have a big influence. This is where the story becomes more interesting. Perhaps what makes the public keep coming back is not because there is a big secret that has not been revealed, but because the internet does have an extraordinary ability to find patterns between two very popular names. One photo can trigger a discussion. One video can revive an old theory. One comment can be a new news material. Then it all turns back to the original question. Is there something really hidden? For now, there is no strong reason to say that Jungkook and Lisa have a secret romantic relationship. What exists are various public moments that are then interpreted by fans in different ways. Some see it as a coincidence, some find it interesting, and others choose to keep waiting for official information. And maybe it is the uncertainty that makes this story live on. In an era when information moves faster than clarification, a rumor can develop into a phenomenon before the truth can be examined. Therefore, fans have an important role to enjoy the discussion without turning speculation into false accusations or facts. In the end, Jungkook is still Jungkook, Lisa is still Lisa, and their personal lives are their own. The public may feel curious, but curiosity should not erase the boundaries of privacy. Maybe one day there will be official information that answers all questions. Maybe there will never be an answer because there is no hidden story behind all those moments. Meanwhile, the internet will continue to do what it has always done: observe, interpret, debate, and then re-find pieces of old moments that make everyone ask again. And for the fans, maybe the biggest question is not, do Jungkook and Lisa secretly have a relationship? But how far can we interpret a moment before a conjecture turns into something we consider to be reality? Because in the world of K-pop, sometimes the biggest mystery is not what really happens behind the scenes, but how a small moment can turn into a big story in the eyes of millions of people. However, the longer the talk about Jungkook and Lisa goes on, the clearer it is that the real problem is not just about two big names that suddenly become a topic of conversation. There is something deeper about how fans read every detail of an idol's life. On the one hand, there is a very humanized curiosity. On the other hand, there is an awareness that behind the camera spotlight, they are still individuals who have a personal life. When a theory starts to go viral, it usually doesn't stop at one moment. Fans began to reopen old archives, looking for videos that were previously not considered important, paying attention to dates, locations, clothes, and facial expressions. Things that used to look ordinary suddenly get a new meaning. A look that lasts less than a second can be treated as a clue. A coincidence in the choice of clothing color can be considered as a symbol. Even the appearance of two names in one news can be a reason to make a new theory. This is where Jungkook and Lisa's story becomes more complicated. The internet has the ability to connect pieces of information that actually do not necessarily have a relationship. When a theory has been formed, humans tend to look for information that supports the theory and ignore conflicting information. This phenomenon makes a rumor look more convincing even though the actual evidence does not increase. For ARMY, situations like this are certainly not always easy. Jungkook is not just a singer for millions of his fans. It is part of the emotional journey of many people. Therefore, when his name is associated with someone, fan responses can be very diverse. Some are curious, some feel uncomfortable, some defend their privacy, and some consider all these conversations as part of the fandom dynamics. The same thing also happened among Lisa's fans. As one of the most famous female figures in K-pop, Lisa has long faced intense public attention. Whatever he does can be a subject of discussion. Because of that, when his name was again associated with Jungkook, the public reaction grew rapidly.